Let's move right on and talk a little bit more about the hiring trends in the country. What is the outlook when it comes to individual sectors, metros versus emerging cities, the IT space? Dr. Pavan Goel is the Executive Director and Chief Business Officer at Naukri.com. Thanks so much for taking time out. And we have seen a bit of a bounce back in the month of October, at least back to those double-digit rates. What is the outlook? Do you think that it can sustain across the second half?
See, Outlook, we haven't done any Outlook survey, so it's hard for me to comment on Outlook. But if you just look at the trend line, the hiring activity is consistently growing now. So if you look at the H1 of this year versus last year, hiring activity is growing. So if one were to project out, one would think that the hiring trend reversal is here to stay.
Pavan wanted to understand about BFSI hiring trends because one can see that it's seen a bit of a decline, and this at a time when last quarter all IT companies said that BFSI is actually looking up. Is it fair to say that it's peaked for the near term at least?
Yes, actually, if you look at more broadly, the sectors that were doing very well, BFSI, hospitality and travel, healthcare, retail, they have now sort of subdued and gone into single digits or close to flat, whereas sectors which were not firing earlier, such as IT, they've started firing. IT, GCC hiring is up quite a bit, and but that's making up for the overall decline, and it's net coming out to be positive at 10%.
Uh,
Now, I also want you to take one more factor into account. October is a month of holidays this year, whereas last year Diwali was a little later. So this 10% growth is not a comparable period. If one were to somehow normalize, one would expect this number would have actually been higher. So the hiring activity is more robust than what 10% indicates at this time.
any geographical trends which you can spot for us?
So one interesting trend, Tamil Nadu is an outlier. It's the year-on-year growth in Tamil Nadu is 24% versus 10% as a national average. Telangana is a close second with 16%, and then Karnataka at 12%. So that's I think South in general is performing better than rest of the country. The other thing that we see is Bangalore. While we used to think of it as a tech hub, growth is now secular across many industries, such as BFSI, FMCG, and others. Now, in terms of non-metro cities, Bhubaneswar, Indore, Coimbatore, they consistently are doing well for a long period. So they are clearly emerging as next growth centers.
Okay. Uh, Anything which you would say could be the most sought after skill within IT? I mean, is it AI? Is it coding? What is that skill which everybody is looking at?
It's AI. And if you look at our AI growth numbers, it's astounding at 40%. And within AI, there are other some roles like big data engineers, that's in 80%. So there is those kind of trends like, hey, there is industry can consume whatever supply is available. Okay. So clearly the AI focus on AI is visible in our hiring numbers as well.
Uh, I'm going to ask something which, we've been asked by college students, by friends and family, by young guys, that what are the three skills which are required for somebody who wants to make themselves future ready in terms of acquiring IT skills. When I was in my 20s, the skill required was Pascal and C++. I don't think they're relevant any longer, right? So what are the skills which you think are required for someone who's aspiring to be in the IT services or the IT space for next 3 or 5 years?
So I'll give a more broader answer first and then deep dive into IT. I think if you look at the pace of technology change, it's accelerating. Okay. So what's previously when we were in college, if you learned something, it would last us probably for a decade or 2 decades. Now, what we learned 5 years ago is not relevant anymore. So what you need is the critical skill that everyone needs is the ability to learn. Learn to learn is a critical skill that everyone needs to have. so that you can go across different technology transition curves that happen. Having said that, I think everyone now will have to become expert at using AI to do their job. Okay, if you're in finance, you'll have to see how you can use AI to analyze finance. If you are in IT, you have to say, how can I use the AI coding tools to become more productive? Okay, if you don't learn that, the others will learn and they'll be much more productive. So using the proliferation of tools that are now available to become a better professional at whatever your profession is will be the need of the hour.
To know those are some of the skills that people need to equip themselves with when it comes to hiring down the line. Thank you so much, Dr. Goel, for running us through all of those details. A quick check.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.